because AI is going to break. You are going to have outages. If you can't handle it, now your whole customer experience is gone. That's what I said!
Did you restart the router? Yes.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Is AI here to save support teams or just cut headcount?
I really think that AI is going to be a tool to help support teams. I think about AI as kind of, you have to be the ringleader, but then the three-ring circus is in front of you, which is what support can feel like at times, can be augmented by the capacities of AI. And I don't think it's an end-all be-all. It's all going to be the tier one support here in the future, but I do think it's a great opportunity to be able to free up some additional capacity for next level support.
So what about all these companies outside of the ISP industry or broadband industry that are already cutting their frontline phone support, right? And it seems to be working for them. There's quite a few of them already doing that. But you don't think that'll happen in the broadband industry?
Well, I do think it'll happen in the broadband industry, but I don't think it's going to, I don't think, maybe those people are going to no longer be tier one support. They may be moving into tier two and tier three. It's not going to completely replace the personnel. It's going to fine tune what they're capable of getting done.
What do you think, Rick?
Yeah, I agree. I think I always look at AI and frame it as a multiplier. And as you're scaling a business, you are looking for multipliers in any shape or form factor you can get them. So I think utilizing it in that way is an absolute no-brainer. I also think we're talking about these things as if they're brand new. One thing that we did in lieu of having 24/7 support is when we were in after hours, we had set up a somewhat sophisticated IVR for our phone system where if you were down, you would go through and, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Oh, well, you have to reboot your modem. Let me walk you through that. What color is the power supply? Press 1 for that and walk you through. There's still ways that you can offset having an actual human being for tier one. And I think that a lot of companies have been doing that for years and years and years and years and years. I think what this is doing is introducing more effective tools and more effective, but also I think more friendly for the user experience when done right.
How about you, Larry?
Yeah, save them 1,000%. I mean, this is going to be the multiplier. I unfortunately get to go third, so I get to go, yeah, that's why I say. But I believe it. I mean, I think that's where all AI is going. It's not just in the support role. I think it's in every role, network operations, developers, everybody should become these 5x, 10x people with AI. And if you're not doing it, you're going to get left behind. I think will transition staff to new roles, and make things better for the customer in the long run.
And look, we're here talking about operations, but we're still end users. We interface with our own ISPs. I spend 9 hours a day on conference calls. The last thing I want to do is talk to somebody about my internet. I want to be able to be enabled to interact with a website or a chatbot or something along those lines that will help me get a resolution as quickly as possible. And if that basic level support can't be provided to me, then I can level up to a person.
So for me, I think it will knock them out.
Just completely.
I think it's more driven by the culture, the leadership of a company, and being more pessimistic. I tend to see that's what ends up happening because you're focused more on efficiency and the bottom line, so that you can either line your pockets or the shareholders' pockets, and that's really the ultimate goal. It's not about the frontline employee. It's about, are we achieving what we set out to achieve so I can get the return on my investment? So if this is going to give me a better return, I'm going to make that choice. Now, hopefully they're doing it from a people first way that says, let's find the right spot. Let's re-educate. Because is our government going to do that? I don't know. It depends on, again, who the leadership is and what the attitude is towards it.
But either way, it's not happening tomorrow.
No. It's something, well, hell no.
It's definitely something we should have a discussion on, though,
Yeah.
because AI is going to require us to look at some regulations and how we handle this going forward.
Right? And I think it'll be a while before regulations come in, and hopefully that'll be set from a human perspective.
Well, and AI has to be trained, and the question is it poorly trained, well trained, or manipulatively trained? So it's making sure that you have the right tool in place to provide that customer experience. I think is going to be really important for the operators as well.
So Larry, what's the riskiest part of over automation?
The riskiest part is not training your automation well. I mean, the data is so important. You know, if you're going to start automating things and not having the guardrails in place, there has to be the human circuit breaker in this whole equation. So you have to have some way for it to know that it is not taking care of things properly, and that you need to get the human involved at this point.
There's another bumper sticker, the human circuit breaker. I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a great concept.
So what you're saying is we won't be able to, or we will be able to. So to me, I think of like the agentic way of doing it, that you could probably create a strong enough agent that can make that decision for the person, and then you don't need that person anymore, right? They can say, is this the right outcome that we were looking for? Yes, no, kill it, add this, try it again, right? And they can do it so fast. They can do it in billions at a time. So I think at some point you won't need that human factor. You won't, because it'll be replaced by something that is mimicking or does it better.
Maybe at some point, but that some point I think is way out there still. I mean, as fast as AI is moving, and it's just crazy. I mean, the models just keep getting released. You know, I don't know where all the power is coming from. That is regenerating these things and all the time.
I have a friend of mine that runs data centers in Columbus, Ohio, and they are building a ton of data centers. There's not enough power in Ohio to support this at all. So they're coming up with new ways to generate energy and electricity on site,
Right.
and trying to do it in an efficient manner. You know, they're reactivating nuclear reactors. It's a real thing, and it's just going to keep
It is a
multiplying
real
and
thing.
multiplying.
The energy consumption's crazy.
What about you, Rick? Over automation on the front line?
I think one of the risks is you are engineering a concentrated kind of single point of failure. As we talked about with networks previously, it's not will things break, it's when things break. And if you had, maybe under normal circumstances, whatever, 5, 10, 15 tier 1 support reps, and then you have none, and you have, kind of concentrated that expertise into, kind of like tier 3 people that don't really have to deal with the customers. If you have a period of time where for whatever reason those systems are not able to be leveraged by your subscribers and you need to turn on the, make the phones ring again, I think that is going to be a really poor experience for everybody.
Yeah, the concept of an AI outage is just mind-boggling to me, because if we are so reliant on it and we don't build almost redundancy into our processes,
Yes.
then I think operators across the globe are going to be in a real world of hurt if something goes south. If something gets turned off, no more power, whatever, people have to be able to still interact and do the jobs that the agents are helping to.
DDoSes, your credit card expires, right? Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think of the neural networks sort of like how your brain works. You can lose part of your brain and it'll rebuild around it. Now, that doesn't help with connectivity, right? If you cut the spinal cord, you're not going to be.
If it's off, it's off.
Anymore,
Yeah.
right? So that definitely could be an issue.
That's the statement of nightmares right there, man.
I was thinking, we've talked about AI quite a bit, and I know I brought it up before, but I equate it back to oversimplifying, and then you lose that expertise. And whenever something happens and someone keeps making the wrong choice and it's breaking, you have to learn it again, which will take longer.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows if you get back to where you were. So
Sure.
we could be creating a generation of technicians that can't really fix the plant, or support agents that are so reliant that they don't really understand that you need to do more than unplug the modem to try to solve this, or
Yep.
router. So that's why you got to keep the human in the loop. I mean, we can't eliminate, because AI is going to break. You are going to have outages, and if you can't handle it, now your whole customer experience is gone.
Yep. All your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Rick, what do you think tier 1 support looks like in 3 years?
I think it's fully automated. Yeah, in 3 years, you look where we are today. I think you have the decision today whether you want to fully automate it. The technology is there currently where you can do it. Does it deliver the optimal experience? Does it give you the redundancy? I think there are still considerations that probably keep a lot of operators from going all in. 3 years of progress from today, sitting here right now, it's all fully automated. Yes.
And look, I don't even think we know what this is going to look like 3 years from now, because to the end user, they could feel like they're interacting with a human.
Mhm.
They could be looking at a face on a
I was gonna
screen
say, yeah,
and no idea whatsoever it's actually a bot. It's just getting so much more sophisticated.
and it can know you, like we were talking about earlier. It could have gathered all the information and set that context, so it can really, it could ask, so how was the baseball? How was Jimmy's baseball game last night?
It could bring that all full circle. Yeah.
What about you, Larry? What do you think it looks like in 3
Yeah, I
years?
think at least 90% of it is automated by AI and being handled by AI. But I still think there are the edge cases where it's going to still drop back to the human, even 3 years from now. I mean,
And my hope is the tier one support agents across the country, across the world, are already looking at AI and how they can work with AI, not looking at it as an adversarial situation, but as a, hey, what can I do to level up my skills as well? I want to be a part of this play.
I think the way it's being presented to them, they're looking as an adversarial position. I
Right.
mean, Paul's stories, we're reading all sorts of people outside the ISP industry, cutting their support staff in half, in 2/3, because they've replaced it with AI that they feel is doing just as good a job. So
They may not be looking to stay in the same field at all.
right.
So is customer support better in 3 years because of AI? Is it better? Is it better for the people? Is it really going to be a better thing?
I think it could be more effective for all the reasons aforementioned, right? It's going to be situationally aware. It can really tailor things. So I think there is potential for the outcomes to be better across the board. Is the experience preferable? I don't know about that yet. Sonar's support suite was designed by people who have lived the ISP grind. Automate what you can, empower what you can't. Visit sonar.software today. All right, let's get back into it.
All right, so let's move into love it or hate it. Sound good?
All right.
Yes.
Love it.
I'm going to start with you, Larry.
Yeah.
Support is the most important part of the ISP business.
Love it. But I'm going for customer experience. So like I like to do, I'm going to rephrase the question and just take it my own way. So I think customer experience and customer support being a big part of that. I love it. I mean, and that's where we'll really excel, proactively monitoring networks and stuff like that. It's going to just provide that better overall customer experience through AI.
Do you think, I know it's sort of related, but do you think are you aware of ISPs when you've dealt with them or partners out there that have decided not to invest in customer support? And are they just as successful as someone that did?
Yeah, they're no, absolutely not. I mean, customer support is key. I mean, it is table stakes for an ISP industry. And if you're not providing that, it is readily known. I mean, you can try and provide the cheapest, service and hope that people then bond to that, but that isn't what people are going for. If there's no support when something goes wrong, I need to get it fixed. I mean, my internet is too important. So you need to focus on customer support.
So love it or hate it. The support is the most important part of the ISP business.
Say hate it. I think this is where people get upset at me, maybe because I was nodding along genuinely with everything that Larry was saying. But if your network is a mess, then I guess support does become the most important part of your business because you're going to be doing a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to focus on the product and the reliability first.
VP of product saying you need to focus on product. That's interesting.
It's true.
That's why I morphed the question, because it's customer experience is the most important.
Right.
So.
Support can't be everything,
Right.
but obviously it's very important. Yes. But yes, hate it for that reason.
Georgette? Well, we know. Just say it.
I love customer support. I love the customer experience. I think that AI is going to just push that support, that human personal touch upstream. So it may not be tier one, but there's going to be a person in line that if you're really mad because the technician slept with your wife, there's still going to be a person.
Did I even tell that story?
You did a few episodes back.
Okay.
So if you missed that,
I remember thinking about it. I remember if I said it or not. But okay.
there's always going to have to be the buck stops here. And the buck is not going to stop with AI. There's going to be a personal interaction that's going to go upstream. Customer support is the number one thing in an ISP.
Yeah, at first when you said it, I thought you said it was going to humanize it more. And I'm like, well, that's the opposite of what we're doing here if we're replacing customer support with AI. So love it or hate it, customers prefer bots to get the answers fast.
Well, I told you it's a conundrum for me because I personally am good with the bot experience as long as it's efficient and effective and I don't get stuck in a loop. The phone tree systems frustrate the hell out of me because I always get hung up on and I'm like, agent, give me somebody real.
Yep.
Yeah, that too.
And I think that's going to happen with AI to a certain degree. Give me a person who I can tell is really a person.
I do find I yell at Alexa or I yell at whatever IVR system that's coming up, right? That's what I said. Just do it.
If I have to dial into a phone tree, my kids are like in a different room.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
But there's the opportunity that could happen with AI as tier.
I think it really has
That could end up in a loop there too.
Loop somewhere.
Absolutely.
Reboot the modem again.
So
keep rebooting the modem.
I think I hate it. Customers prefer bots if they get answers fast. I hate it because I'm not sure that that's going to actually happen in the near term.
Yeah. What about you, Rick?
I love it. I think I'll qualify that by saying if what you're getting is accurate and nuanced, I think most people are contacting because they're looking for an outcome. And to your point from before, Georgette, you just want that fast. If you've got a conference call coming up or you have a deadline to submit something, if that experience can get you there faster rather than waiting on hold, I think I would prefer that. Therefore, I love it.
Larry?
Yeah, I go with hate it because I want accurate, and I'm willing to wait slightly longer to get that. I just don't want fast for the sake of fast. I want it to be right. And if that takes more time, so be it.
And here's the caveat that I don't think we've actually talked about yet. It may be that the AI is hallucinating in their response. That's one option you hear a lot about. But what about the person who's asking the question? If I'm not asking the question in a way that the bot can actually interpret it, I can't spell it, I can't string the sentence together, I can't do whatever. The input is bad, so the output is not going to be accurate or fast.
That is the biggest risk that you have with masquerading AI as not being AI. If you're sitting down in front of ChatGPT and you know what you're doing, you're in the mindset of a prompt engineer. If you are sitting down talking to a chatbot on a website, you may not be thinking, I'm engineering a prompt right now. So if the inputs suck, the outputs suck, and it's because you don't actually know that that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When the customer hallucinates the problem.
I mean, we've all had customers come to us with their solutions for something,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're expecting validation when their solution is like so off the reservation, it's not even funny. So they're prompting for something that's not going to get them in that straight line between A and Z.
Right.
So for me, I love it, but only in the sense that it has to be accurate. And I think you can do those things by educating and letting people know how to interact with it, and it'll just become second nature. But it's also a personal thing, like what I was talking about earlier. If I've already done all the steps, I don't want to have to tell you. Or you start at one person and you know it. You start at tier 1 and you know you're going to end up at tier 2 or tier 3, but they have to go through their steps to get there. With the bot, maybe I can get there without repeating myself over and over. Oh, now I'm one person. Even if I'm not repeating it, they're repeating it back to me so that I can agree with it. Come on, I got
So they can get to the next screen. Yeah.
to do.
Did you restart the router? Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
One.
I hear a tone. Are you okay? Is this upsetting you?
So I'm a computer guy. Maybe we rename this segment to Love It and or Hate It. Because I love and hate it sometimes. I mean,
So love it or hate it, ISPs should never let bots handle billing issues.
I hate it because I really think that the AI technology is going to get pretty good, and you can let them handle the basic billing issues. There's a lot of, it depends what you're considering a billing issue. You know, I think it will be able to analyze the data and figure out that maybe something's wrong. It will be able to take that customer's input and weigh that. And if you've trained your models right, you have usually very consistent billing practices, or you should have very consistent billing practices. Because if you're waffling on how you're handling your billing issues, that is not only going to come back and bite you, So it's somewhere where AI can easily be trained, I think, to handle those.
How about you, Georgette?
Um, I hate it because I do think that 95% of billing issues are cookie cutter and could be managed through automation. You just have to leave the door open for the 5% that need eyes on the prize. And when you're talking with people's money, you can't mess with other people's money. We can't mess with our customers' money, and our customers can't mess with their customers' money. So you have to have somebody who's willing to say the buck stops here, literally.
Yeah. Rick?
Can you frame it again? Because I always get these backwards.
This is the never allow them to do billing.
Never. I mean, it's such an absolute.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'll go with love it because I think it kind of speaks more to my point. But obviously, there's more to say than that. I guess what I would say is, what is a bot? If we're talking about bots as being AI,
That's what I think, yeah.
AI is non-deterministic by nature. And I feel like that is a really bad context blend with billing. I think that, to your point, you should be very consistent. And I suppose if it is always going to be referencing the same information that an agent would be, then you could get pretty close.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't they deterministic as well? Because they're relying on faulty memory and which one is the right
I think
one?
People are more deterministic if they've been trained properly than AI.
I think it could happen, right? I think you could train it and it'll function. Now, I'm not saying it's conscious or anything, but I do believe that it should be able to do that.
But it is more susceptible to being influenced by the prompts, I would say.
You ever heard of propaganda? I'm pretty sure we're influenced by whatever we read and see and how we bring it into our own context.
I don't know. I don't think I could convince any of my staff that there's 5 R's in the word strawberry.
Excuse me? I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I bet you. You start putting it out there, people buy into what they see over and over again.
I'll say this. I think it could solve most billing issues. If I was sitting there as an operator today, I would probably pull it just back from having full authority to give credits.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
I can see that.
Good,
Control the money.
Yeah.
Buck's got to stop somewhere.
Right.
Enjoying bandwidth? Then please do us a quick favor and leave a rating on Apple Podcasts. It helps more broadband professionals discover the show and lets us know we're hitting the mark. All right, let's get back to the show.
So we're going to end the episode with a little game of what if. What if AI support eliminates the need for most frontline staff? We've kind of covered it a little bit, but if we want to get a little bit deeper, let's go there. Georgette?
What if is not just what if, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to do to help those staff that are needing to be retrained, repurposed, leveled up, exited the business? What are the options there? And I think people have to start thinking about those plans now.
So do the companies own responsibility for the people that they let go when they're replacing it with new technology?
No, but I think there has to be a plan in place, and to be transparent with your staff that you're trying to give them opportunities for growth, professional development. This is our organizational goals. This is the way we're going. Maybe a position becomes vacated. Are you going to backfill it? Don't backfill it until you've seen how much of that job can be performed by AI and can the other roles be reallocated somewhere else. What is your organization going to do about it? Field technicians, they got to go out there. They've got to go connect the dots, right? That frontline CSR, maybe not. So maybe it's a training ground for new field technicians.
Could be, right? What if, Rick?
Yeah, I think your point is really good, and it's kind of focused around like, what do we do here? And it's kind of this one-time problem of you've hired these people. They're people. They have lives. They have responsibilities. Where do they go? Where do they fit in? But the problem that I thought of when that what if was posed is, in my experience, support department is such a breeding ground for people that move up through the business.
Look at our company.
Right, exactly. It spans industries. So I think that is something that you're so kind of like, you almost take for granted because it's such an organic process where, day by day they collect these skills and these contacts, and then a new opening, and they apply for it and people move up through the business. if you are entirely replacing that whole
that entry
section,
point?
yeah, that then how do you fill those roles? Is it just always from the outside? But even then, that tribal knowledge, that is such a superpower of being, able to, move up smoothly through the business. I think what this is going to do is this is going to create situations where it's going to force companies to have better training programs, because they're having to condense what otherwise would have been 2-3 years of organic on the job training into a month of getting someone up to speed to be a tier 2, tier 3 from day one.
But you still need to have those people, because you can't eliminate all your frontline staff, or you need to have somebody who can act like your frontline staff, because your AI is going down. We've all built networks, and we've built redundant networks. We've still had outages. I mean, I wish I could say, with my perfectly redundant network, it ran 100% of the time, or these AI bots are going to run 100% of the time, but they're not. So you better have some plan in place. And I agree that most of these people, if they're either going to be out of a job, or they better start figuring out what their new job is going to be.
Well, and I think about that personally. I think that everybody should reflect on what if they leave their current job. I guarantee you, in the interview process, somewhere, some way, someone's going to ask them what their experience is with AI, how they interact with AI. Maybe their resume is going to go through an AI checker to zhuzh it up. They may be pre-screened via AI. So we have to help people start now to reframe their vision about what their professional career is going to look like in the world where AI is a partner.
Oh yeah, people should be thinking about that today, because that is the reality.
And when we were talking about, I know when we talk about customer support, we tend to think of call centers, ticket handling, but it is also the field too, right? Is AI going to reduce the field staff? Is it going to replace technicians? Are we going to need fewer of them?
I don't think so. Maybe when there's, humanoid robots to carry out the tasks,
if it ever does.
But I don't think, this hybrid.
Give them full laundry first. they can be
laundry and dishes.
Right. They can do the installs later on,
but if they fall off a tower, no one's going to sue you unless the customer's standing under it.
Right.
So I brought this up, and I'm just going to bring it up again because I brought it up to Georgette. But is there a moral responsibility for ISPs or any business that are eliminating a large swath of jobs because of technology to ensure that these folks can live, can continue to support themselves? Do we have any sort of social responsibility as a business like that?
I would want to work, and I work for a company that I think takes that social responsibility
But should every company do that? Should it be
in a utopic world? Sure. I would love to think that people are looking out for the best interest of the people around them, but that's not how the world works.
Even non-utopic, we have to start addressing this. This is going to be a reality. We've got so many people that this is going to, and we all talk about them leveling up and going in other spots, and I hope a lot of them can do that, but it's not going to be 100% by any stretch. So do we create this 40% unemployment rate?
That's what I was going to say.
Live with this?
Yeah.
And how are those people
go?
being
They
supported?
can't buy the things that are going to kill whatever specific industry was doing that. It's a cycle we don't really want to
definitely have to address.
There are kids in college right now that are on degree plan programs that their industry, their chosen path in life is going to be severely impacted by AI, and they're not even scratching the surface of the capabilities on how to partner with AI. And I think it's going to be disingenuous of us not to open up the conversations at our own dinner tables at home and talk to our kids and talk to our neighbors and friends about what the impact is that AI is going to have, not just this year, 3 years down the line, 10 years down the line.
So you said this before, and I think it's a good thing to close out on. So do you have to say thank you to any of the bots or anything that you're doing? Do you have to treat them nice?
100%.
Why is that?
I am not making that mistake. I will survive when they all take over. Okay.
All right.
That's when the Jurassic Park becomes real.
I will customer support the AI. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
I know who I serve. Remember, when you connect communities, you unlock what's possible. Until next time.